Okay, this is the stock controller. I've taken it out of my bike and I've labeled all the cords so I can remember where they go. First things first, this big thick black one, that goes to your motor. This yellow one, it's a male connector, goes to the sensor at the crankcase. There's a pair of female cables. Those are your brake cables. This one here is female also. It's black. That goes to your throttle. This one here with the cap on the end. If you do not have an LCD screen, you have to have that cap. Otherwise, you can remove the cap and plug your LCD screen into this. But don't lose this cap, because it will not function without that cap or without the LCD screen. And then these are the wires that connect to the battery. As you can see, this is the battery cradle, and these are the wires. Just a couple of bolts hold all this stuff in. Okay, so that's the stock controller. Get rid of that. The only difference between a stock, of course, is what's on the inside, because it's a 20 amp, but this one has an extra cord. We'll go through them. Again, power cord for the motor, and then this, a red male cable. That's different. We have the two females, which are for your brakes. The yellow one for the sensor at the gear crank. Battery wires. Black one is throttle wire. And then again, this one here for your LCD screen, or if you don't have the LCD screen, you have to have the cap in. Okay? So now I am going to hook up my headlight, horn, and tail light to the new controller with the Genius cable. Here's the Genius cable. Lots of plugs, but as I've been told, it's fairly straightforward. Okay, now you know that extra red cable on the controller? It's a male end. It plugs into this. Be very careful to line these up. I should be wearing my glasses. Hold on. Okay, Genius cable into the red cable, male red cable from the controller. Okay, there. Now, that brings us to this male yellow. That plugs into this one on the headlight. It's a female yellow. Again, make sure you line up your pins, because if you don't line up your pins, you'll never get this thing to go in right. Okay, here's a green female. So on the switch, we have a green male. So that goes there. And again, make sure you line up the pins and the notches. Okay, so that's the switch. Now we move down a little bit. This is where Got a little confusing for me at first. The horn is green, and it's a female, and there just happens to be a green male. So those go together. The tail light is a yellow male, and we have a yellow female. So those go together. Okay, that's the Genius cable. The headlight, horn, and tail light all plugged in with the switch. Now, what do we have left? We have the throttle and brake cables. Well, the throttle's black, female and male, so we plug that in. Very important to line everything up. Okay. Now, Genius cable still has 2 ports. One's a male, so it doesn't matter which one of these 2 you choose, the male plugs into one of them. Okay, now the female from the Genius cable that's red can plug into either one of the brake cables directly from the handlebars. That leaves one brake cable left, which is a male, and one female brake cable from the controller. And they go together. Okay. Again, don't forget about your crank sensor. That's got to get plugged in. And then your LCD screen would go into this one if you have it. If not, leave that cap on. Okay, so let's connect our battery cradle with these. Now, I'll get the battery. Slides in, locks in like that. And don't forget, turn it on. Okay, now I've turned on the battery and you can see the throttle has lit up. That means that it's plugged in properly, everything's running. Now, here's the brake light. When I squeeze the brakes, it lights up. On either hand, left or right brake, it lights up. Now, for nighttime riding, that was the horn. The green is the horn. Red turns on the headlight. And, as you can see, ambient tail light. And again, when I squeeze the brakes, the tail light illuminates a little more to indicate I'm braking. And that's it. Have fun routing all of these cables through those little holes in the box and around your handlebars and your framework and whatnot. And I hope you have more luck than I did, because this took me a while. But I think I've got it all figured out. Now I got to put it on the frame, the bike over there. Good luck.